We got to the campsite. This is what it looks like. There were tons of people partying, socializing, having fun. There were people sitting by the big campfire because it was really cold. There were food tents, food trucks, a DJ, and then people handing out free food. I got a double cookie. And then we hopped on the ice and we're super excited to get right into our interviews.
Welcome to the ice fishing competition. What do you have to say?
I'm excited and cold, but I'm prepared. If I fall through, Josie, you can have all my money.
How about you?
Feeling good. Hopefully I don't fall through.
How do you guys feel about already being rejected in the first 3 minutes?
I think it's a good way to start off our day, you know? Just like. So, what made you come out to the tournament today? Just like a.
We started the tournament
No way! That's super cool!
about 18 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Then there was only like 10 to 12 guys.
Wow.
And it expanded from there.
Wow, that is super cool.
We just did it as a thing to do with a whole bunch of guys. It got way too big after that. So even a third of what it normally is.
Oh my goodness, really?
Not even a third.
Wow. Did you start it with the True North charity?
Nope, it was just a bunch of guys just started fishing, and then we'd have a cookout on the ice and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I say, it was 10 to 15 guys the first time. Next year was 20 to 25, and then it got to be 35 to 40, and then we got too big because we had it in the guy's house.
Wow. That is so
Right
cool.
down the road, just down there.
That's super cool.
After getting to know him, we learned that 1, he was the one who started the competition, and 2, he was an avid fisherman who fished 5 to 6 times a week.
All right, so our purpose of our interviews is to see the difference that men and women have on views of fishing and the kind of culture surrounding fishing and the environment that you guys have here.
Okay.
So I was just wondering if, because fishing is like such a traditionally man's activity, you don't think so? All right,
Oh,
perfect.
my granddaughters love to fish.
Good, that's awesome. That's what we're looking for. That's super cool. Yeah, we were just looking at the difference between men and women's ideas here. So,
No?
yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's just whatever you bring up, however they're brought up.
Definitely. Do you think that there's like a lot of differences in the way that men and women approach fishing, or do you think it's just an activity that you do because you enjoy it? And
I think it's just an activity.
yeah.
I fish with a few pro women.
Wow, that's super
walleye
cool.
tournaments.
Yeah. Wow. Have granddaughters that fish? Yes. Is that something that you got them into?
Yeah, I would say
Take
because
part in that. That's
they're my daughters fish. So
Oh, you got the whole family fishing. Yeah.
So what kind of a class is it?
It's a water class.
Water class.
Water. A lot about water. Well, that's super cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Successful in your fishing.
Oh yeah, good. Have a good one.
Thanks, you
Don't
too.
get too cold.
Oh, I'm already too cold.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the thing with this interview that really surprised our group was that when Maggie said it's traditionally a man's sport, he kind of interrupted and was like, I don't think it is. No, it's not a man's sport. His granddaughters love to fish. His daughters love to fish. He kind of got them into that and ended up showing us pictures of his granddaughters fishing.
Oh, is that your daughter? Wow, that is a big fish.
See, there's my granddaughter.
Oh, so cute. That is adorable.
So it was very interesting to just be able to hear from him and his thoughts on our project when he's the one who actually started the entire event. So the audio was too windy to hear, but we started out the interview asking about themselves and explained that we just wanted to get to know them and their background with fishing and coming to this competition. And we ended up learning that this is their 3rd year here and also their 3rd year in Michigan. Then we got curious about the little machine on the ice and asked what he was using it for.
It sends a sonar signal down and then coming up. So if you look at the left side of the graph here, that's my bait going up and down. You see it going up and down?
Yeah.
And right there, you see the thing coming off the bottom? That's the fish.
Wow.
Are you pretty serious fisher then?
Yeah. It's been a sickness since a kid.
Yeah.
I remember my first fish I ever caught. Yeah. Bluegill underneath the gill, and I flipped them up on the dock. That was my first fish. So the next day, my dad gave me a little piece of string and a hook and a thing of worms. And I just sat there and I caught bluegills and perch and pumpkin seed sunfish, and I've been hooked ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been hooked ever since.
So why do you guys
Social fishing,
Have you guys passed it down to the family members? Or?
my daughter will fish with me all day.
That's so
My
cool.
son and me sitting there will catch a couple fish and put his rod down, go on.
That's just so interesting because I know, like, for my family, it's my dad loves fishing, all guys love fishing, and then my mom, like,
Oh, okay.
that's so really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is nice to be able to see the smiles on their faces.
Super cool to hear your guys' stories. Thank you
It's
so
fun.
much.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck. I hope those fish
Thanks.
bite for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So this interview was interesting to me just because we didn't even tell them about what our project was going to be about. We didn't mention gender. We didn't mention how fishing was a masculine sport. The first interview, we just talked about how his daughter loves to fish without even us having to ask about it. I mentioned a story about my family and how my dad loves to fish, my brother loves to fish, but me and my mom don't really like to fish. The second interview, we then mentioned how his daughter is his fishing buddy. So both men, without really even having to ask or talk about what our project was, talked about women that they know, girls that they know who love to fish. So just as with our other interviewees, we wanted to learn about their background, who they were, their experiences with fishing in this competition. Right off the bat, we learned that the guy in the yellow hat had previously graduated from Grand Valley.
How long have you guys been coming out here for this event?
It's my first time.
First time?
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's good. 20 minutes in. So.
Yeah.
It's good.
How long have you guys really been fishing for?
You mean today? Or
Like,
in general?
I mean, like, is it for your whole life?
my whole life.
Yeah. Okay.
A couple of years. Yeah.
Do you have any like really memorable fishing stories that you can recall?
Different parts, like fishing on Lake Michigan's fun. You get out there.
Yeah.
You probably have better stories.
Well, it's personal, right? Yeah. All your fishing stories are you know, whatever's memorable and special is memorable and special to you. So, I would say every single one of them.
Yeah.
Culmination. I mean, I have an older brother, my dad, grandpa, uncles, cousins. It definitely was a family thing. It's a community thing. So, family for sure.
Is it like a social thing, or is it just like personal time?
It's a social thing. It's relaxing. There's a lot more to it than dropping a hook in the water and catching a fish.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you don't catch anything, and it's still kind of therapeutic, I guess. So there's so many more aspects to it as far as you know, experiences in nature and other things like river fishing. You learn entomology. You learn about bugs.
We want to put emphasis on the use of like gender in this. We think that we have like discovered a stereotype of that men are the only ones that are really interested in fishing, and that women don't really make the trip or don't want to come out.
It's definitely a male-dominated sport.
You think so?
Hunting is another one that's a male-dominated sport because I think you're right. So, given that like the history of the country and societal norms, I think that's a norm that males and men went out and did this stuff. We're taking care of children. I think that's changing a lot.
Do you think there's differences in the way that like women and men approach fishing, like in terms of
Like
who
why
does
you do
what?
it?
Yeah.
Well, there could be, but yeah, I don't really
You're here for that question.
Yeah.
geography comes into play there. Like, we are all from most of us are from a smaller rural community, local. That definitely has a play in it. Like, there are a lot of moms and wives here that have been fishing just as long as the rest of us because out in the country, that's just something you do.
This interview was different because it was the only male interviewee that we got to interview who actually kind of agreed with us when we asked him about whether or not fishing and water sports is more masculine and kind of a male-dominated sport. He agreed and said it is traditionally a masculine sport. He did go on to talk about how women are really rising in fishing, hunting, water sports. For our last interview, we had the chance to get a woman's perspective on fishing and why she made the trip out to the competition.
My perspective is that I'm going to have a cocktail.
Oh, there
and
you
watch
go.
these guys get a fish.
And then win a four-wheeler.
And then win a four-wheeler.
Oh, that sounds like a good plan.
Hello. Hey, this is my interview.
We already got interviewed. Good. And you hang out, and it's a social event for you guys.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't plan on catching anything.
Yeah, that's totally fine. If you just anything you had to say about the experience, like that's all we're really looking for.
I brought my yak packs
Yes,
just in case.
that's
It's a little
very
icy.
smart. I should have brought some.
See?
Yes, you were prepared.
Prepared.
You were prepared. I am proud. That's awesome. All right, let's go.
This interview was fun just because it's kind of what we were expecting. This was the only woman that we got to interview, and she said, I don't like fishing, I'm not here to fish, I just want to drink and socialize and have fun. So that was really what we were looking for and kind of confirmed some of the things that we were thinking.
My group and I decided to tackle the idea of gender within fishing. So we designed a series of questions that would try to get to the bottom of this gender masculinity dominance in fishing. What we were expecting when we went in was that a lot of the answers to the questions were going to fit the mold that we see in society nowadays. But we were very shocked to learn that I don't think this is a very stereotypical thing anymore. Maybe just in Croton it's different. With many of the interviews, these men said they've all gotten their daughters, granddaughters, wives, sisters involved in fishing, and they really don't believe that it's male dominated anymore. And I thought that was very interesting because going in, we thought that fishing has always really been a dominant sport for the males and that females don't really like to get involved in it too much. But through our interviews with the older gentlemen who said that they got their granddaughters and daughters involved and they love it, we could see that this is starting to change a little bit.
So after watching and analyzing all of our video interviews, a couple things really stuck out to me. One of the themes that was present in our interviews actually was our interviewees answering the question of gender roles and their opinions on gender roles in the fishing industry. And they answered it with very little prompting. A lot of the older men were excited to share that their love for fishing and their passion for the sport was passed down through their family to their daughters and granddaughters. Something that's kind of funny is that a lot of them actually had male relatives who could not get into fishing, but their female relatives were very excited about this and very passionate and showed a lot of interest in the sport. It was definitely interesting to look back on all these videos and see how easy it was to get these men to talk about the gender roles in fishing and how easily they followed our main theme with very little prompting. I definitely think we were surprised by some of the answers that we got, not exactly what we were expecting, but it was cool to see that the stereotypes surrounding women in the water culture of fishing was something that was not followed.